Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue, and by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, let's go to the field for Indiana High School football live on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Football fans from St. Vincent Field on the campus of Marian University, where the Cardinal Ritter Raiders are taking host to the Indiana Crossroads foes, the Scecina Crusaders. As the Crusaders come off a big win last week in overtime against Triton Central, 21-20, and then the Raiders on the opposite end lost 49-6. So it should be a fun one here, as both teams are ready for battle. And we're going to take a quick break, and we come back with a pregame show as we'll bring in our color analyst tonight, Steve Hartley.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
And here we go. Andrew Mild here from Marian University, as the Cardinal Ritter Raiders should be taking the field momentarily to take on the Scecina Crusaders. We're going to bring in our analyst, Steve Hartley. And Steve, last week you were at the Scecina Crusaders game where they were in an absolute dogfight against Triton Central, where they won 21-20 in overtime, in which Adam Young made the big tackle in the backfield on the 1.5-yard line to get them the win against a team they might see in sectionals in a few weeks.
There's no doubt about it, and I'll tell you that ball game, Scecina really controlled most of that game. Triton Central nailed, I think, 3 or 4 field goals to keep them in the ball game, and Levi Dewey did a great job of connecting from long distance for the Tigers, and when that ball game came down to overtime, there was a personal foul. Scecina had a personal foul on the point after. So Scecina comes down, they score. And then Mendez hit Martin for the go-ahead touchdown in the first overtime session. Then Triton Central had their opportunity. And then they scored. And then they opted to kick it. Then there was a personal foul somehow against Scecina. I'm still trying to figure it out. Don't know what happened there, but there was. So the ball gets put just shy of the goal line. Tim Abel, head coach at Triton Central, opts to go for 2, and why not? It's regular season. The season really doesn't start for 2 weeks from tonight.
That's true.
So they go for 2. Ray Crawford, Mr. Dependable, in the backfield, fumbled the ball. Adam Young pressured him, recovered, game over.
Yeah, as you mentioned it, Ray Crawford was reliable. He had 114 yards before that carry. And head coach of the Tigers, Tim Abel, even said, if you don't score from the 1.5-yard line, you don't deserve to win, as they fell just short of 1.5 yards short of winning that ball game and picking up a win in the very competitive Indiana Crossroads Classic. And now we're going to look over at Cardinal Ritter. They've had a completely different season than they might be accustomed to. The last 2 years have really been a struggle since Brad Purcell took over the team. They're now 2-16, and this is the first time they've had back-to-back losing seasons since 2001 and 2002. So what is it that's wrong with the Raiders this year? What is going on that's now allowing them to dominate like they used to?
Numbers. Plain and simple. You look out here, they have maybe 26, 27 players on the team. Scecina's got probably closer to 40. But, you look at a lot of programs, and Ritter being a Catholic school, there's not, I talked to Brad before the ball game. He said, we're just struggling with getting kids from, feeder schools, St. Malachi, St. Michael, schools of that nature, on the west side, the Catholic grade schools, and they're not coming to Ritter, and that's a challenge, and so they've got to figure out a way to change that. And Brad knows what he's doing. If Brad's given the time, he's going to be just fine. Brad, he's got a great pedigree coming over from Chittard and Garin Catholic, so he'll get it turned around. But you got to have the players.
Ritter received the ball to start the game, so we'll see their offense take the field. And for the Raiders, they've been outscored by 198 points thus far this season. There was even a 2-game stretch where they were outscored 120-0. But we'll see if Brad Purcell can come here at home at St. Vincent Field and pick up a win against the Crusaders, who are currently second in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, as they're just behind Lutheran. Of course, they lost that game 28-19, but for them, DJ Mendez really stepped up and had 3 touchdowns. So expect a lot today from the junior quarterback.
Lutheran has a big game tonight. They are on the road, I believe, against Speedway.
So that is going to be a big one.
Crossroads Conference foe, and Speedway had there was a lot of ballyhoo about Speedway before the season began. They have an outstanding offensive player, DJ McPherson, and Speedway got off to a strong start. They were ranked in 2A, and then they lost several in a row, and so they're out of the top 10 rankings. And it's going to be interesting because the sectional draw is Sunday night.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, so we mentioned Scecina and Triton Central. Those two teams probably will face off again.
Yeah, they're in section 39 and might see each other, as Steve just mentioned, one more time before the end of the season. As the Crusaders have the ball teed up at the 40, back to return for the Raiders is their running back, Jay Roberts. And here we go. Football on the Indiana High School Sports Network. Let me fielded at the 5. It gets through the hands of Roberts. Ball being rolled around on the 2.5-yard line. He goes to his right, and he gets brought down at the 1. Wow, that is not the start the Raiders were looking for, starting this game on the shadow of their own end zone.
When I was talking to Coach Purcell before the ball game, he said the one thing that they have to minimize, basically eliminate, are mistakes.
Yeah. And they start with the first 7 seconds dropping the ball and actually losing the yard on the return because Roberts was going backwards. And taking the field is quarterback Ben Johnson. He's a senior, 62 for 133. They really like throwing the football for 599 yards. He has 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. But he's that young line in front of him. The oldest is their left tackle, Maddox Sykes, a junior. But now they're taking on 2 really good defensive linemen on Scecina. Hand off to Roberts. Roberts goes to his left. He breaks a couple tackles, but then a herd of Crusaders come in, and that is a 3-yard gain. It's going to turn into 2nd and 7 for the Raiders. As this is a team led by Tamir Woods and Adam Young, 2 seniors that both have combined for over 30 tackles for a loss and over 20 sacks this season.
Tonight's ball game brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com.
Big number 57 in the backfield, working as a fullback. Another handoff to Roberts. Roberts is pushing his way through, and he gets up to the 7-yard line for another 3-yard gain. 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. Interesting that the Raiders turn to it looks like a defensive lineman in the backfield to serve as a fullback just to get an extra push
Whatever it takes.
Against Woods and Young. You don't want to give up 2 points early. 3 men in the backfield. They put Fleming in motion to the right, and another handoff. He's going nowhere. He gets stuffed in the backfield. Coming off the ball is Adam Young as he picks up another tackle for a loss. That is now 18.5 this season. That is truly an incredible number to look at, considering that this is only their 8th game this season.
I'll tell you, Scecina is very quick off the ball. They may not be very big, but they are very quick.
Didn't matter who you had in the backfield. There's no way you're going to be able to slow up Adam Young or Tamir Woods. Expect to hear their names a lot tonight.
Barrio deep for Scecina. Mason Barrio.
It's a small punt. There's a low snap, and it's going to roll out at around the 35-yard line, and that's where the Crusaders were set up on offense. That was a punt by Osvaldo Carlos. A short field for the Crusaders to start the game as they're led by their junior quarterback, DJ Mendez. He has 7 touchdown passes this year, 3 interceptions, and 35 for 73. And he has a 93.4 QBR and 4 rushing touchdowns this season. They'll go out of the pistol formation with Brandon Fitzramsey right behind DJ Mendez. 2 receivers to the left, 1 here to the right. 4 down linemen for the Raiders, and a straight handoff to Fitzramsey. And Fitzramsey is going to get 3 yards, and that's why he'll get pushed back to the original line of scrimmage. But because of forward progress, the ball will be spotted at the 32-yard line. When you have an old coach like Ott Hurl, who's in his 31st season of coaching, you're starting to look at the stats, and you can really understand that this is an old-fashioned, hard-nosed football team. They run the ball a lot, and they really put pressure with their defense.
Ott Hurley has had a lot of success with the Crusaders, and he's on track for another big year this season.
3 receivers to the left. It's a pitch out to Fitzramsey. Fitzramsey got a block. He cuts it to the outside. He's got the sideline, and he gets stood up, and he keeps the legs going. He's still going, and they're inside the 10. What a run by Fitzramsey. That was a 23-yard gain.
Good push there by the Scecina offensive line.
Just didn't stop. They didn't hear the whistle blow, so they kept pushing their running back forward, and he gets credited with 23 yards on the play, and now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Crusaders, and an offense that's averaging over 30 points per game. They hurry up to the ball. Tamir Woods to the left. They're going to go under center with 3 running backs in the backfield. Hand off to Fitzramsey. Fitzramsey put his foot in the ground, cut to his left, and just 2 yards on the play, just a couple. So now 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line of Cardinal Ritter.
This is one of 3 ball games we have on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com tonight. We also have Pike in North Central, and up in Muncie for our East Central Indiana fans, we have Greenfield Central and Delta.
So a lot of football action on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. You get all the good football games. A pitch to Fitzramsey again, and he is going to go down in the backfield. Coming off the ball was Maddox Sykes, a sophomore, for his 8th tackle this year and just a 2nd for a loss. And here is a 3rd and goal coming up as the Crusaders have yet to throw a pass. And why not? The running game was working until the last 2 plays, as the Raiders have taken a page out of the Crusaders book, and they're making a big stand here inside the red zone. 3rd and 9 after 2 yards were lost. Back to the original line of scrimmage on the 3rd and goal. They're going to spread out the offense here. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mendez is going to just take a timeout here. They didn't like what they saw, so the Crusaders are going to burn one. That's their first timeout of the first half. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more football on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Welcome back. As the Crusaders are knocking on the door of scoring the first points of the ball game, Andrew Mild with Steve Hartley from Indianapolis, Indiana, on the campus of Marian University on a chilly 55-degree night from Indiana in October. Where else would you rather be? They go back to the same formation they did before the timeout. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. There's the snap. Mendez looking over the middle. He's got a man, and it went in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Mason Barrio, who leads the team in touchdowns with 4. He could have had number 5, but he just did not bring it in. 4th down, and here comes the field goal unit. It's going to be Carter Nolan, the senior, to come on and kick this field goal. This is going to be a 16-yarder or 26-yarder. 7:12 to go in the first quarter. The holder on this play is Will Battles, the backup quarterback. Snap the hold. Here comes the kick. Plenty of leg. And the referees agree it is good. And the Crusaders, even though they don't score a touchdown, they'll take the 3 points to start the game. And they take an early 3-0 lead with 7:07 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back, more football as you're watching the Indiana High School Sports Network.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
And we are back. Thank you for tuning in to our telecast of the Raiders and the Crusaders, as the Crusaders just picked up 3 points on the 26-yard boot from their senior kicker, Carter Nolan, who's going to now boot it back to the Raiders, as the Raiders trying to adjust after they dropped the first kick that pushed them back to the 1-yard line. Roberts gets a field clean at the 2. He's got a gap. He goes down the right sidelines. He's out across the 50 and just runs out of real estate, but a really strong return from the 1-yard line to the Crusaders' 48-yard line. That is a 51-yard return, and that's where the Raiders will set up shop. The Raiders' last drive, all they could do was run the ball, as Jay Roberts, who you just saw had a great return, did not start the day off with a great return, dropping the ball. Then he went backwards and tackled at the 1-yard line, and they just had to run the ball up the middle with Roberts. And on the last play, it was Adam Young who got in the backfield to stop him. 4 receivers are on line up here to the left of Ben Johnson, and 1 out to the right. Johnson gets the snap. It's a screen to Roberts. It's a wobbly pass. Roberts going down the left sidelines, and he gets hit hard. But he falls out of bounds. He works his way up to the 42-yard line, and that will be a 6-yard pickup for the Raiders on a simple bubble screen to their running back. As Roberts has 15 receptions on the year, that makes it 16, now up to 122 yards. Last week he had 5 receptions for 30 against Beech Grove. They go into the pistol formation here. 1 receiver to the far side of the field, 1 here to the near. And it's a fake to Roberts and a handoff to the split end, and it's a first down. That was actually Roberts. Roberts was lined up as a split end. It was a fake up the middle to the running back, Jaden Fleming, and Roberts gets a first down on a 5-yard scamper. So Jay Roberts got a lot of purpose yards on the way to start this drive. He gets his team a fresh set of downs from the 37. Now you have 3 men in the backfield. Fleming moves up. He's lined up next to Jay Roberts. And now Fleming's going to go in motion to the left. It's a pitch to the outside. They cut it back in, and Roberts gets tripped up at the 35-yard line. Just a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. And for the Crusaders, really what helped them last week is they did allow Triton Central, a very good football team, to enter the red zone time and time again. Actually, 5 different trips from the Tigers, but for the Crusaders, they kept stepping up and forced 4 field goals. So that's 12 points, and then there was a safety on the offense. Spread formation, quick screen to the outside to Roberts again, who gets slammed down hard by Ty Walker, the junior free safety, who read that perfectly, and it looks as though they got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Tonight's game brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis, Graham Wilkerson, and Dale Speckman at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. We'll have scores from around the area tonight. Nothing reported in thus far, but stick with us. We'll have plenty of scores, and our halftime guest will be Ritter Athletic Director Dave Scott.
That should be a fun one. And it looks like we get the first points in the entire Indianapolis area with 3-0 Crusaders. Deep drop. It looked like he's trying to be a screenplay, but there's nothing there, as Johnson just had to get rid of it as the pressure was getting too close for his liking. He didn't want to take a sack, and that's going to make it 4th down. And once again, Steve, it's the Crusaders' defense bending but not breaking against the Raiders' offense.
No question about it. And we've got a flag here, it looks like, and there's a penalty going against Ritter.
The ball is at the 36. And I wonder if maybe that was intentional grounding.
It could be. They're bringing out the punting unit.
Because that's now 4th and forever with the penalty. If it is an intentional grounding, it would make sense because they'd also lose the down.
Right, and that appears what it is.
I wonder if that's what it could have been, considering that there was no receiver in the area. And Johnson was still in the pocket. He was just going backwards.
Totally possible. Early score for tonight, Carmel leading Warren Central 3-0. That ball game in the first period.
Here comes another punt for the Raiders, and this will be not fielded by the Crusaders as it rolls out at the 24-yard line. And the Crusaders, who got a good run from Fitz Ramsey on their first drive, did not turn into a touchdown, but they did get 3 points. Let's see if they can build off their start from offense with 4:43 in the first half. I wonder if maybe if the Crusaders are also going to open up the playbook. I know how much they love to run the ball, but you have to give DJ Mendez an opportunity to throw against this Raiders defense that struggled.
I'm kind of surprised. I think Ott Hurley was really trying to feel out the Ritter defense, so we'll see what happens here on this drive.
They go to another handoff up the middle, but with a great push from their O-line, they get it out across the 30. About 6.5-yard gain, 2nd and manageable for the Crusaders. They gave Jaden Fleming the tackle. As the Crusaders do not waste any time, they're right back on the football after just 3 seconds went off the play clock. There's 3 men in the backfield with the running back to the left of Mendez and 1 in the backfield. Handoff to McConnell. And McConnell gets just a couple, and 3rd and short for Scecina coming up. Still not a pass yet. But with it being 3rd and 2, you now have to wonder if maybe the Crusaders are willing to maybe go for it on 4th down with it being short. I know it's early in the game and you're inside your own territory, but it's a big game in terms of how they would be in the standings. It's a QB keeper from Mendez as the running backs then push him out across the 35-yard line, and it's good enough for a 1st down. So we'll see those chains move for the Crusaders again.
You know, Scecina not afraid to go up tempo either. They did that against Triton Central last week.
Just good, hard-nosed football from Scecina. They're going a little bit old-fashioned, not airing the ball out yet. Single back formation. One receiver to the left, one here to the right. Here's a blitz from the Raiders, and went the opposite way, and Fitz Ramsey is at the 38, so 3 yards for Scecina. At this point, it's just a pattern. We're just going to run the ball until you guys can stop us. It was actually turned into a 4-yard gain. And if you start any fresh set of downs with 4-yard gain by a simple handoff up the middle, you're doing yourself a service.
That's what they want, especially when they have an opportunity to get a manageable third down. 2:30 to go here. Clock rolling in quarter number 1.
2 running backs in the backfield, one to the left, one to the right, and they're going to hand it off in a counter play to Marcus Greathouse. And Greathouse did not go very far, as there's numerous black jerseys and silver hats in the backfield. 3rd and 6, as it was a no-yard gain. And maybe this is the first time we'll see the Crusaders throw the ball. As the sun has already set, the moon is out, the lights are on.
Nice crisp night for a Friday night.
It is.
Fall is here, Andrew. Fall is here.
And it was weird that just a month ago at some of these football games we were going to, it was a second summer.
Welcome to the land of non-air-conditioned press boxes.
Good old Central Indiana, still unpredictable as ever. 3 receivers here to the right, 1 to the far left. You see some bodies moving around for the Raiders. They're set. Rolling out is Mendez. Mendez is looking. He's going to bomb this one to the middle of the field, and he's got a man for a first down. Here comes a flag, and you just have to think that's going to be pass interference on Zion Lloyd of the Raiders. On a beautiful reception from Eric Montgomery. It is pass interference, which is declined, which I'm assuming that's what that was going to happen. And there's a first down on the first passing play. But they're now out across the 50 and onto the 35-yard line of the Raiders. What a throw by Mendez to do that while on the run, recognize the man-on-man coverage, and put it where only his receiver could get it.
Yeah, Barrio did a nice job of coming back for the ball.
Yeah, Mason Barrio makes the play to get the first down. They're going for the pass again. Looks like they're going for a quick one. And they complete to Barrio again. Barrio makes a cut up field, and he will get another first down. They're spotting him at the 24-yard line. 11 yards for the Crusaders, as Mendez is now 2 for 2 on passing attempts. Both plays for first downs. We're under 90 seconds, now at 80 seconds left in the first quarter. Maybe the Crusaders can score a touchdown right before this first quarter ends and build a 10-0 lead. 3 receivers are here to the right in trips formation, 1 to the left. Mendez is going to throw again. He's got pressure, and he goes down. Kaysen Stevenson, the sophomore, gets his first sack, and he was there in a blink of an eye to bring down Mendez.
So this is just what Brad Purcell wanted. He thought that he would be able to take advantage of the offensive line for Scecina, and if you're looking mano a mano, they've got the upper hand right now.
It really was going to be a battle of the trenches for both sides. As you talked about it, the Raiders thought they could dominate the line. They've had a couple plays they've done that. Back on the ball. Could be the last play of the first quarter. A quick throw. Ball is in the air, and nobody's there to bring it down. The clock stops at 20. And
like that, it was tipped at the line.
It was tipped at the line. I'm thinking that might have been Stevenson again. It was Jaden Fleming. He's going to get credited for it. And that's now 3rd and forever for the Crusaders on the 28 of Cardinal Ritter. They're going to need a big play here to keep this drive alive.
Martinsville with an early 7-0 lead over Mooresville in a mid-state conference matchup.
Nickel formation for the Raiders. They're showing blitz. Here comes the blitz. Mendez senses the pressure. He flushes out of the pocket, and he gets hit from behind. And it looks like the ball is on the ground. There's a scramble for it, and they're going to say it belongs to the Crusaders. It's still going to be 4th down, as once again the Raiders dial up a blitz on 3rd and long, and they get the sack, and the first quarter ends with the Crusaders up 3-0, contemplating on what to do here from the Raiders' 28-yard line. We'll be back after the short commercial message.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room.
Start of the second quarter is commencing. Andrew Mild and Steve Hartley from Indianapolis, Indiana, on the Indiana High School Sports Network, where you can check us out on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com and on our YouTube page. And it looks as though the Crusaders might be going for it here. It's 4th and 15. They're behind both sticks, and they have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Blitz being shown again by the Raiders. And here they come. It's picked up. Mendez is doing everything he can. Somehow he has not been brought down yet. He gets out of the pocket, and he is tackled awkwardly, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. He ran for forever, but eventually the Raiders chased him down and will get the ball back on their own 25. Wow. Both defenses bending but not breaking.
It looked like that could have been a horse collar.
Yeah, it looked like it was a very awkward tackle. Mendez was happy he got up safe and sound, no problem from the quarterback there. But for the Raiders, they're not afraid to just send everyone just and put much pressure as they can on Mendez. Exactly.
Yeah, let's go for it. So they take over 1st and 10 from their 25.
This can be somewhat viewed as a trap game. We have a team that's 1-5 and hasn't won a game in the Indiana Crossroads Classic yet. Pitch to the outside to Roberts. Roberts cuts it in, and he gets brought down at the 30 for a 5-yard gain.
He's a hard runner.
He is. He really likes to work downhill and punish anyone that gets in his way. He came in with 65 carries for 314 yards and 3 touchdowns. His best game this year was against Short Ridge, where he had 25 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Big night.
It was a huge night, and their only win this year, where they won 44-8. You see Fleming go in motion to the right. Johnson under center again, and it's another pitch to Roberts, and Roberts, it's hit in the backfield, and he's behind the 30.
Andrew, tonight's ball game brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. Robin Samieri put, you've been to my house.
Yeah, I've been to your house.
Yeah, I put gutters and a new roof on, and I made it look spectacular.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's the best roof in the neighborhood.
No question about it. Give them a call, 317-257-0779.
Drop back to pass to Johnson. It's a quick pass to the outside to Roberts, and Roberts has got plenty of touches in this game. It seems as though every time they run a play, somehow Roberts is the man that touches that football.
He just missed the edge. If he could have got around Barrio over there on the far side, it would have been a foot race to that first down marker.
Yeah, Matt and Barrio, the two brothers. Mason, the senior, who leads the team in tackles with 58, and then Madden's the cornerback. He's a sophomore, so just 2 years younger than his brother. As Mason will be graduating after this season, he's had a phenomenal year as a defensive back and as a wide receiver. A punt for the Raiders coming up. The third one for the Silver and Black tonight, and it goes out of bounds, as that was Mason Barrier that watched it fall harmlessly out of bounds. And we are going to take a quick break. It's 3-0 Crusaders.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you.
And we are back. Hand off to Fitzrainey, and Fitzrainey is up to the 49-yard line for a 9-yard gain.
Let's go for a few scores from around the area tonight, Andrew. In the second quarter, Carmel leads Warren Central 3-0. It's Lewis Cass 6, Hamilton Heights 0. That ball game in the second quarter. Martinsville now with a 14-0 lead over Mooresville.
Ramey gets a first down, and then more at the 48 of the Raiders. And it's going to be a fresh set of downs for Fitzramsey. As in the last drive for the Crusaders, they ran the ball and had a couple of good passes, but then the Raiders dialed up some blitzes, as it's another action-packed weekend across the state in football. And we have to appreciate it because there's only 2 more weeks of the regular season, tonight and next week, and then sectionals start. Ramsey up the middle, and 2 yards will be gained, and that will be all. They're at the 46 of Cardinal Ritter.
I'll tell you, if you are Ritter head coach Brad Purcell, you got to be absolutely thrilled with how your team is playing right now. I mean, Scecina has had running clocks against many teams, so that means a 35-point lead in the second half, and his ball club certainly going toe-to-toe with the Crusaders here tonight.
Yes, Scecina has outscored their opponents 223-82 this season, and it's 3-0. The Raiders are really holding their own early. Hand off to the left. Fitzramsey gets a first down, but there is a flag being thrown outside the 45-yard line at the 43, and this looks like it might be coming back.
Bishop Chittard with a 14-0 lead over Terre Haute North. That ball game in the second quarter.
Well, they wasted no time to get a lead.
No, not at all. I want to remind everybody as well, later tonight we have Nick Orr, a Butler University freshman sports journalism major. He'll be pounding out some game recaps from around the area. And we'll also have those as well tomorrow morning. We like to promote as many kids as we can here in Central Indiana football. So go to IndianaHighSchoolSports.com and you'll be able to pick up on all those game recaps.
Everyone doing their job here at the Indiana High School Sports Network, doing any way they can to get this up and give these high school teams as much coverage as they can in this season. Mendez rolling out. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it and completes it. It's not a first down. That's just back to the original line of scrimmage after the holding penalty, and 3rd and 10 is going to come up for the Crusaders.
Mendez to Jacob Martin, who caught the overtime pass last week against Triton Central. Danville with an early 7-0 lead over Western Boone. That's a huge ball game in the Sagamore Conference. Western Boone, one of the top-ranked teams in Class 3A. Danville looking to pull an upset.
And Cardinal Ritter is trying to pull off an upset. According to Max Prep, Scecina is number 5 in 2A, and the Raiders are number 40, but it's only 3-0. It's Fitzramsey gets another call, and he gets to the 45 for 3 yards, 4th and 7. The Crusaders already went for it on 4th and 15, and it looks like they're not going to go for it here. They're going to elect to play the field game and punt it.
Carter Nolan on the field, and he'll stand around his 40. Lawrence Central with a 7-0 lead over Ben Davis. That ball game in the first quarter. New Pal all over Newcastle in the second, also in the first quarter, 27-zip.
The punt from the 45 of the Raiders. The ball hit. I think the ball hit a Raiders player because they just picked it up and ran into the end zone. The referee runs in and spots it just outside of the 10. And before the Raiders take the field, we will take a break. It's 3-0 Crusaders. The whistle has been blown, and both sides are on the field again as the Raiders offense is just looking for a big play. They're looking for something to get going here. They've been trying to break a play off with Jay Roberts. As Steve, you mentioned earlier, Roberts was one screen pass away from breaking a first down and a timeout from the Raiders. We will take a break again, and it's 3-0 Crusaders after the Raiders take their first timeout.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
3-0 Crusaders leading the Raiders, as the only difference right now was the 26-yard field goal from Carter Nolan. But since then, both defense have done a really good job of containing the other offense, as both O-lines have really been tested early, Steve.
They really have, and if you're Brad Purcell, again, you got 6:50 to go here in the first half of play, and you really would love to get some momentum going here towards the half.
It's an end around to, shocker, Jay Roberts, and Roberts had nowhere to go. They push him out at around the 10-yard line. It might have been a 2-yard loss there. This drive started at the 12-yard line as the Raiders are doing anything they can to try and get Jay Roberts some open field. But right now, the Crusaders have just been sniffing everything out from the Raiders.
Both teams getting a strong dose of Jay Roberts and Brandon Fitzramsey.
If we had a nickel for every time they said their name, we might have a few dollars on hand already.
Dude, we could go into FanDuel.
Yeah, there we go. Place a couple of bets, especially in the MLB postseason that started today.
Yeah.
They're going to go to a pass. They go to a bubble. It's completed. And he keeps going, and it's a first down. Ball's on the ground, and it's then recovered by the Raiders. But I think he was down anyway. And that was to Adrian Gregory, his 9th catch this year. He had 79 yards heading into the game, and he'll pick up a lot more.
Carmel and Warren Central deadlocked at 3 in the second quarter. Sheridan leads Eastern 14-6. That ball game also in the second period of play.
They moved up to the 18. So it was a 6-yard gain, 3rd and 4. They're going to go to the air again. They look to the left. They throw it that way, and it is a low throw. It can't be brought in by the intended receiver. Looks like that was Max Naughton. And 4th down for Cardinal Ritter, and they will punt again.
Johnson had Knutson over there on the far side, and but the ball just couldn't get it there. So they'll be punting again deep from within their own territory.
Osvaldo Carlos back on to punt away, as it's Mason Barrio and Madden Barrio. So the two Barrio brothers are back to return. The low punt, and Mason gets it. He breaks a tackle. He goes to his right. He's got some green grass to work with. He makes a move. He pushes a man off, and they finally sling him down across the 30, but there is a flag over by the 40. We'll see what this is.
We'll see.
Might have been a block in the back. It looks like it's in the area of it.
Either that or a hold.
Either way, it looks like the Crusaders might lose 10 yards after a strong return by their senior, Mason Barrio. And they did call it a hold.
Personal foul, face mask.
So you got some offsetting penalties.
Yeah.
And it looks like I think the Raiders would have to read punt, wouldn't they?
I would think it'd be a do-over, but I think they're trying to sort it out there. All the referees are in a conference.
From my understanding, from years of watching football, usually if there's offsetting penalties, you just redo the play as if nothing happened.
Well, you got a 15-yard penalty versus a 10.
Right.
So that may be what they're discussing. While they're discussing, we'll discuss some scores. Lebanon leads Southmont 7-0. And I'll tell you, Southmont has been on top of the Sagamore Conference all year. They really haven't played anybody. Now, over the last several weeks, you got Tri-West, you've got Lebanon, you got Western Boone, and they're coming into a really, really tough part of their schedule. So, nonetheless, Lebanon on top 7-0. And here we're getting it sorted out, and Scecina's going to get the football 1st and 10. It looks like they're going to spot it around the 45-yard line or so.
Yeah, just inside the 45, on the 47, as the men in the zebra striped shirts have finally agreed on what to do with the football after 2 penalties on the same play. And we'll finally get back to some football. As Steve, looks like you may have another score for us.
I do. Hamilton Southeastern, undefeated in Class 6A, leads Franklin Central 14-0. That ball game in the second quarter. And at halftime, we'll have scores from around the area, along with Ritter, athletic director, and baseball coach Dave Scott.
So he's pretty excited. He might be checking some of the scores from around the postseason starting today in the major leagues. But we're here for some football. A gorgeous night from Indianapolis. Man goes in motion. Mendez looking to throw. Pocket collapses. He goes up the middle. He makes a move. And he is tackled at the 50-yard stripe by Jaden Fleming.
I got 2 words for you. Postseason, Aaron Judge.
Wouldn't that be 3?
Yeah, home run king.
Yeah. I think Roger Maris Jr. would agree with you. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. There's a running back to the right of Mendez. Mendez is a QB power. He's got the first down, and he gets tackled after they blew the whistle, or just as they blew the whistle, and it's a first down for the Crusaders as the forward progress stops him at the 42.
I think that was Fleming on the tackle for Ritter.
He's been everywhere.
Jaden Fleming, he wasn't going to have any of Mendez going over that first down marker. Mendez did. His forward progression got him past the first down marker, but Fleming threw him a good 7 yards back.
See, if this was the NFL, I'm assuming that Fleming may have gotten 15 yards tacked onto that, depending on what quarterback was running that. So,
yes, it would be
if it's
unnecessary roughness.
If there's Aaron Rodgers, maybe. For other quarterbacks, maybe not so much. 2 receivers to the left. Mendez drops back. He's got plenty of time. He airs it out to the middle of the field. He's got a man wide open, and he goes, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Keaton Tebow goes into the end zone, and it's 9-0 Crusaders. That was a 42-yard bomb as the offensive line stood up, gave Mendez plenty of time, and that was the explosiveness that Ott Hurl has been looking for in this game. Carter Nolan coming out to kick the extra point here and give his team a double-digit lead. A great play. It just looked like broken coverage by the Raiders. It was man-on-man coverage. Tebow got behind him and took it into the end zone. Snap, hold, kick. It's good. And the Crusaders are up 10-0 after a great play by Mendez and Tebow. We'll take a break as the Crusaders are leading the game.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Nothing Crusaders. As you're watching the Indiana High School Sports Network, Andrew Mild and Steve Hartley up in the booth, and there's the boot from Nolan, and diving for the ball was Roberts. Roberts picks it up off the ground, and he works it up to the 24-yard line. And Steve, I have to say that's the first time I have ever seen a return man dive for the football.
Well, he touched the ball and his knees were down, so shouldn't the ball be spotted back where his knees were originally down?
Maybe.
Yes, they should be. So I'm not so sure. Ritter got away with one there.
And they much rather have it at the 24 than at the 3 because they have already started inside their own 5-yard line tonight because of a muffed.
We want to thank Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com.
Here comes the snap. They're looking to throw. It's a short pass connected to Jay Roberts. And Jay Roberts is still going as he had to wait for the Crusaders to come in with reinforcements to bring him down. And he got the first down on a 10-yard hookup. Move the chains for the Raiders. How many touches is that for Jay Roberts now?
I couldn't tell you. I bet it's at least 15.
The only time I've ever seen a player touch the ball that much is if they were virtual. That's the only other time I've seen it. In which these virtual players don't get tired. They want the ball even more.
Oh, sure.
And Jay Roberts, he doesn't seem like he's getting tired. Maybe a little sore in the morning, but he wants to get his team a victory. As they hand it off to Roberts up the middle, and he's only going to get a yard, and 2nd and 9 for Cardinal Ritter.
Lawrence Central now with a 14-0 lead over Ben Davis. That ball game in the second quarter. It's Carmel 6. Warren Central 3, that game in the second period of play. Battle of field goals there in the Mick. New Pal 28, Newcastle nothing. That ball game in the second quarter of play. And Martinsville leads Mooresville 21-7.
It was an end around this time, and they're tackled in the backfield. Absolutely nowhere to go as they pick up Jay Roberts again. And they lost, I want to say that was about 3 or 4 yards. And it looked like it was a tackle by Adam Young again, just getting into the backfield and creating havoc. He is a beast. We wait for Tamir Woods to make a play. 2 receivers to the left, 2 here to the right. The ball is on the right hash. Looking to throw, looks to his right, looks to his left, gets away from pressure, and he tackled him from behind. Trying to see who that player was. And with the timeout by the Crusaders, we will take a break and we'll be back for more football on the Indiana High School Sports Network.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
You have to type in, and we are back, and it's 3rd down, and actually it's 4th down. 4th and 20 after the sack, so you're going to see the Raiders send out their punting unit again in Osvaldo Carlos, who has kicked a punt on every drive for the Raiders. Andrew Mild, Steve Hartley on the call tonight As Carlos is awaiting the snap, here it is, as the Barrio brothers are still back to return. This one is heading for Madden Barrio. Madden drops the ball. It's on the turf, and he picks it up at the 39. And I was wondering, though, Steve, it looks as though Madden was going to hand it off to his brother the way they were commencing there, but he just never got the chance because he took his eye off for a split second and went right through the wickets, and they are going to start just inside the 40 at around the 39-yard line.
Well, this is an important defensive stop/possession for Ritter because Scecina will start get the football.
That's true.
Half. So if Scecina scores here and goes up 17, heading into the locker room, that can be problematic. So we'll see what happens here.
And they got a 10-0 lead. Their O-line looked mightily good on the last play that allowed a 42-yard score. Hand off to Fitz Ramsey, and Fitz Ramsey is still somehow keeping those legs turning as ball's on the ground. It's scooped up by the Raiders, and it's going to be a scoop and score. The Raiders are on the board. Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson, the cornerback, picked the ball up and ran it into the end zone. The Raiders punched it away, and they are on the board. There's a flag on the extra point, so stop the play, even though they blocked the extra point. I wondered if maybe the Raiders have 12 men on the field, because it was the back judge that threw it, and his job's usually to count up all the players.
I don't know, but the kicker's down.
Yeah, the kicker, Osvaldo Carlos, went to kick it, and he had a white jersey in the backfield and kicked him instead.
He's back up, but it was a bad snap.
It was a bad snap.
A high, slow snap. And those are tough to get down. And Carlos's rhythm was thrown off, and he is limping to the sideline.
Yeah, he was being helped by one of his teammates there. Some good sportsmanship. So Carlos, he's walking off his own power. It is a cold night, and if you do kick helmet, usually it's going to sting, and hopefully he's going to be okay and can continue to play this game for the Raiders. But with the 12 men on the field, the Raiders are back on the ball with their offense.
You know, Robert Jackson had more receptions against Triton Central than he had in all of 2021. Kind of interesting, all in one game.
That is interesting. Hand off to who else, but they're running back, and
actually they gave it to the up back.
They gave it to the up back, yeah.
67.
67, that was Jamerson Rogers. So the Raiders score on a scoop and score. We'll take a break. It's 10-6 Crusaders with 2:17 left to go.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
(10-6) with 2:17 to go. The Crusaders are working with 2 timeouts, and Steve, I feel like the momentum is now wearing a silver helmet after that scoop and score by Robert Jackson.
No doubt. I mean, Ritter has really outplayed Scecina here in the first half.
As they had to go for a substitute kicker, and it was a short squib kick type, and it's going to be returned to the 40. Let's see who that kicker was for the Raiders. That was number 8. That was Juan Mendoza, a freshman, that had to do the kicking duties for Osvaldo Carlos.
That's a lot of pressure for a freshman. in a varsity game.
As we do see Carlos in front of us after he got injured on the extra point attempt that was blocked because of 12 men on the field by the Crusaders. Nothing happened, but it seemed like he did a good job.
Yeah, he did fine. No question about it.
It wasn't returned for a touchdown, so that's always step one. And he didn't miss the ball completely.
Funny story for you here in a minute.
The snap to Mendez. Mendez gets rid of it, and it was thrown behind his intended receiver, Keaton Tebow, and second down and 10 to go.
So my wife is from Kokomo, and I'm visiting, her school's homecoming. Her sister was homecoming queen. This is, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And we're watching the football game, right? Opening kickoff, Northwestern. The Northwestern Tigers are kicking off. Kid approaches the ball. He misses it.
Oh, no.
He missed the ball. It's just the funniest darn thing I've ever seen. It's just crazy.
The only time I've ever seen that happen is when a T-ball player is trying to hit a ball off the tee, and he missed.
Yeah.
Play clock runs out, and it looks like it's a delay of game on the Crusaders. Wow, and they've been getting to the ball pretty quickly. So for them to get a delay of game, there had to be some sort of miscommunication because not even DJ Mendez noticed, and he was not hurrying to the ball.
I'll tell you, Ritter's got all the momentum right now. I mean, their players are fired up on the sideline. Brad Purcell is excited. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and that's what you need here with 2:06 to go in the half.
You even saw Jakar Moore getting really pumped up, the defensive lineman for the Raiders. He's clapping his hands and pointing them to go backwards. Now a 2nd and 15. Corner blitz. Mendez senses it. He flushes himself out to the right. He's looking. He's got a man down the sidelines. He completes it for a first down. It's Barrio. Barrio gets a block. He cuts to his left. He's got a stiff arm. He keeps going, and he's inside the 5. What a play by – that was actually Keaton. Keaton Tebow actually got the play. He was open down the sidelines. Mendez found him, and he really worked up to that 2-yard line. They're now 2 yards away from adding on a touchdown after the scoop and score by the Raiders.
It's twice that wide receivers have gotten behind the Ritter secondary.
It's a QB sneak. Did Mendez get in? He kept pushing forward. He got an extra push from behind. He is in. Touchdown. Had to wait for the referee to come in and signal it, and they gave him the score. It's 16-6. A minute 27 left in the first half. And again, as Steve, you mentioned, the Crusaders do get the ball to start the second half, and they've regained the momentum on that long connection that led to that touchdown.
Yeah, both Tebow and Mason Barrio got behind, again, the Ritter's defensive secondary, and it accounted for some long gains.
Tebow only had 2 receptions heading into the game. He's already made 2 big receptions, one of them leading to the touchdown for the Crusaders. And we will take a quick break as you're watching football on the Indiana High School Sports Network.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
A minute 27 to go as both sides are returning to the field. And Steve, the Scecina Memorial Crusaders needed a big play, and they got it from Keaton Tebow again. But an even better play by Mendez has sensed that corner blitz coming from the outside, his blind side, as you will, and then threw a dime piece to allow Tebow to keep running and line up for the touchdown.
He's a heady player, there's no doubt about it. Very shifty. He's got good speed and quickness. And he had the heads up to find Tebow down the right sideline.
Roberts having a hard time fielding kicks today. He did that one cleanly. He makes a move after allowing his blockers to get in front, and they trip him up, and he will start at the 25-yard line.
Halftime, we'll have scores from around the area, and of course our halftime guest will be Ritter Athletic Director and baseball coach Dave Scott. We'd like to remind you as well that later tonight, go to IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. We'll have plenty of game recaps tonight and early tomorrow morning, courtesy of our Butler freshman sports journalism major, Nick Orr.
I heard those Butler students are a little bit crazy. You're sitting next to one right now.
Yeah, you're sitting next to one, too.
The deep throw. They got him in and out of the hands. That looked like it was the man that scored the touchdown. That looked like it was Robert Jackson. He almost got his second touchdown. That could have been 76 yards. It was a great throw by Ben Johnson. But Jackson was so excited that he had burned his corner that it went in and out of his hands. And instead of getting more points before the end of the first half, they then have to think, what if he brought that in?
A great catch and run opportunity.
A throw. Roberts gets the catch, and he gets wrangled down quickly before he could make a move that looked like.
Clock rolling with 1:05 to go. Got to hurry.
That was Marcus Greathouse that made that play for the Crusaders, and the clock is under a minute to go, as you mentioned, Steve. The Raiders only have one timeout to work with. They're down 11 points, and they are in no hurry to get to the ball. The play clock is under 10. Under 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Robert Jackson, who almost scored a touchdown, is out there to the left. Play clock at 1. They got the snap off. Quick throw, and it's almost intercepted. Greathouse again. He has just been everywhere. He almost jumped that route and turned that into a pick six, but instead the ball was offline.
If that would have been a pick six, that would have been big trouble for Ritter.
Because they would have been basically the end of the first half there. They'd be down 18 points. And, again, you can't mention enough. The Crusaders get the ball to start the second half, and they're up 2 scores right now.
So Carlos is back on the punt, so he must be okay.
That is good news. He did walk off his own power. It just looks as though he was feeling it after he kicked someone, and it never feels good.
Ritter's got a lot to be proud of.
They do.
Tonight.
Yeah.
They are hanging with one of the top teams in Class 2A, and we'll see what happens here in the second half.
Here comes the punt from Carlos. He looks to be okay. This is a good boot as Mason Barrio calls for their fair catch as 2 players fall over here by the near sideline, and it was an immediate fair catch. And we will take a quick 30-second break. 17-6 Crusaders.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7450.
Back for more football with just 26 seconds to go. The Crusaders do have 2 timeouts. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They've had a couple of big passing plays, looking for another big play and some magic. Quick throw. They complete it, and Barrio gets by. He's going down the sideline. He's across the 30, the 20. He goes down the sideline, and then he's in for a touchdown. 65 yards. Mason.
That's a backbreaker.
That is a backbreaker. It was Mason Barrio that got the reception, and then a Cardinal Ritter defender overplayed him. He got a convoy down the sidelines, and he did whatever he could to tiptoe down that sideline and get in for the touchdown.
Robert Jackson missed the tackle over there on the far side and couldn't recover. Barrio was off to the races.
That had to be at least 60 yards after the catch.
65.
65. Incredible.
Nice catch and run.
Making life easy for DJ Mendez and the Crusaders as they have a 24-6 lead right before halftime.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Back at Marion University, here on the northwest side of Indianapolis, where Scecina with an exciting catch and run from DJ Mendez to Mason Barrio for a 65-yard touchdown strike. Scecina leads Ritter by a 24-6 count with 14 seconds to go here in the first half.
And the Crusaders will start with the ball to start the second half. Andrew Mile and Steve Hartley from St. Vincent Field, a gorgeous football field where the Marion Knights will play their home games this season. There's a short punt that's fielded not so cleanly by number 32 of the Raiders. And they are going to start inside of their own 30. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be to close out this first half. They should have scored a touchdown on their last drive, but Robert Jackson had to go right through the wickets.
Try the same play.
Same play, why not?
Yeah.
If it worked before and all you needed was the catch and run, might as well try it one more time, and if not, you can just run the ball and let the clock run out.
A couple of halftime scores. North Central leads Pike 14-7. Both ball clubs looking to pick up their first win. Boy, Pike has been so doggone close all season. And Cascade leaves Monrovia. That is an Indiana Crossroads Conference matchup. Cascade 14, Monrovia 7.
Saw North Central play a few weeks ago in their homecoming game against Carmel, and with it being Carmel, you can probably guess what happened. Is it's just a run to Jay Roberts, and that's how our first half will end, with the Crusaders absolutely dominating the Raiders in the second quarter to build a 24-6 lead. We'll take a quick break and come back for the halftime show. And again, the visiting Raiders lead the Raiders 24-6 as you're watching IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back to Marion University on the northwest side of Indianapolis. We're at halftime, where the Scecina Crusaders lead Ritter by a 24-6 count. Let's go over some scores from around the area tonight, and then, of course, our halftime guest will be Ritter Athletic Director Dave Scott. At halftime, Ron Colley is losing to Cincinnati Elder by a 10-0 score. It's Cascade 14, Monrovia 7. Also at the half, it's North Central 14, Pike 7. Chittard is all over Terre Haute North. In fact, there will be a running clock to start the second half. It's the Trojans 35, Terre Haute North nothing. Lebanon leads Southmont 7-0. That ball game also at halftime. Sheridan over Eastern 21-6. That ball game at the half. Western Boone has come from behind to lead Danville 14-7. That ball game also at the half. It's a battle of field goals with Carmel and Warren deadlocked at 6 apiece. That game at the half. Many of these ball games already at the half. Martinsville leads Mooresville 21-14. Pendleton Heights over Yorktown 14-12. That ball game at the half. And Cathedral leading Brebeuf by a 21-7 count. That ball game late in the second quarter. We'll have more scores along with our halftime guest Dave Scott after we pause for this break on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
2 minutes. I'm not mic'd right now, right?
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Well, you got to figure out that Cardinal Ritter was doing such a great job of keeping tabs with Scecina, but the pass from Mendez to Barrio was really a backbreaker. Nonetheless, if you're Brad Purcell, you got to be happy with the effort. He was concerned before the ball game about mistakes, but they've been going toe-to-toe with the Crusaders. Let's catch up on some more scores from around the area. Kind of a surprise where Ron Colley trails Cincinnati Elder 17-0. Elder will get Bishop Chittard next week to end the regular season of play. It's Avon 20, Zionsville 10. Center Grove with a commanding 31-0 lead over Lawrence North. That ball game in the second quarter. Also in the second quarter, Lawrence Central leads Ben Davis 21-0. Will Patterson has done an outstanding job of getting that football program turned around. Lewis Cass leads Hamilton Heights 6-0. It's Hamilton Southeastern 17, Franklin Central 0. Greenfield Central leads Delta 6-0. That ball game is being broadcast also on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com on our Muncie page. New Pal all over Newcastle 49-6. That ball game approaching halftime. East Central leads Guerin Catholic 20-0. That ball game late in the first period of play. We'll have more scores for you throughout the night, including Westfield deadlocked with Fishers 7-7. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. We'll have, again, scores throughout the night, and we also would like to remind you that late tonight, early tomorrow morning, go to IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. We'll have plenty of game recaps for you. So you can click on the link and read about your favorite teams. We try to do is get as many kids promoted within the Indiana high school football programs from Central Indiana and also the Muncie area as well. We'll have those updated late tonight, early tomorrow morning, courtesy of our Butler freshman sports journalism major, Nick Orr. We'll be back with our halftime guest, Dave Scott, after we pause for this break on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
I think it just does
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back to Marion University, joined now by Ritter Athletic Director Dave Scott. And Coach, I got to tell you, you've got to be pretty impressed with how the Raiders hung here with Scecina in the first half.
I am, with the exception of a couple, big time plays. I mean, it was a close game, and we're hoping to, keep it going in the second half.
Talk a little bit about some of the programs that are coming up. You've got girls basketball starting here in several weeks. Talk about the girls basketball program and what you expect.
Girls basketball, we're gonna be young. Coach Sanford is gonna have them ready. I mean, he's a great coach. We're really excited for that. We're really excited for our boys program. We got a new coach in Derek Williams. He's done a fantastic job so far, and he's got a buzz in the community. It's been a really positive thing for the school, and they haven't even played a game yet. It has been fantastic what he has done. Just the positive energy he brings on an everyday basis.
You have a new coach come in. There's a transition there that could be challenging at times. Talk about that transition, and he's changing systems. I'm assuming. But talk a little bit about the transition going from one coach to another. Sure.
So Coach Moore did a fantastic job. I mean, he great guy, everything. And obviously when we were looking for the next coach, we were really interested in a couple certain things, and Coach Williams fit that mold absolutely perfectly. Yeah, he's doing kind of a new system, up tempo, just like we've always done. Defense first, just like we've always done, but it's just a little bit different movements. I don't want to give away anything, you know what I mean? Just because, believe it or not, we, Coach Moore is helping out at Brebeuf now, and that's our first game. So I don't want to have to tell anything to Coach Moore.
Totally understand. So, football is a big part of the Ritter tradition, and playing on this surface here at Marion has just got to be a thrill. I mean, how many times can kids say, "Hey, I played on an NAIA school"? I mean, that's basically D2.
I mean, the Marion Knights are a powerhouse in the NAIA. I mean, that's without a doubt. It's always great for me coming back. This is my alma mater, so it's great coming back and just you see some of the guys around that were here when I was here, and it's like coming back home every single week. And then for our kids, they're playing on a college field. I mean, every kid that comes here gets an opportunity to play on a college field. Most places don't have that opportunity. These kids do. And it really is something just great for the community, great for these kids, and it's been fun with our partnership with them for the last couple of years.
I think one of the first years you played here, Jake Perica was quarterback.
Yes.
And my son Pete was a running back at Chittard.
Okay.
And Ritter beat Chittard in a small upset.
Well, when
I think, believe it or not, Ritter won the state championship, and so did Chittard.
You know what?
That was in 2012.
When Jake was under center, we were really, really good. Jake was a fantastic player.
He was great. And a great kid. And,
absolutely.
Pete would score, Jake would score. Pete
right.
would score, Jake would score. Jake just happened to get the ball a little bit more often than Pete.
Right.
But just playing on the surface. I mean, so you've seen the transformation from when
I have
from when you were here. You didn't have a field like this.
Oh no, I think this field actually was. Let me think here. There was a house right on the end zone. There's 3 houses right there. I want to say, I can't even remember what was here. I think it was the soccer field. The soccer field kind of extended out.
Yeah.
And then there's just kind of an area. But it's kind of amazing how it's all taken place. President Elsner has done just a wonderful job in just, raising funds and really putting the spirit in the school. And as an alum, some of my buddies, they don't want change. But I'm sitting there going, change is not always the bad thing. I mean, this is fantastic. This school is just a jewel of Indianapolis. It's just really one of those diamonds in the rough. It's fantastic.
Every time I come here, my wife and I are involved in Sarah Club, and the seminarians are right down the street at Simon Brute, which is a
Right.
whole another unbelievable facility.
Right.
But it seems like every time I come here, they're building.
They are.
I mean, and I don't know where they're finding the space, but that's progress, and that means that enrollment is increasing. So it's all good stuff.
Oh yeah, enrollment is increased. I think it was around 4,000 when I'm here. It's up to about 6,000 now, and it's funny. My kids are here every game, and every now and then I'll take them out and drive them around on the golf cart, and they go, "Well, where'd you used to live?" And it's just kind of, you go, "Well, it was there, but all that other stuff wasn't around it." So it's really cool just to see the growth and really just the again positive stuff coming out of the school. And President Elsner deserves so much credit for what he's done.
I've been down the road of not having a home field,
Mm-hmm.
and then we finally got one at Chittard. You're in the same boat at Ritter. Anything in the works, or to try to find some land for a home field? I mean, obviously it's multi-purpose. It's not just football.
Correct. Well, right now there was always this hang up of parking, and that's our biggest issue is parking. But as we started surveying more, as we started kind of looking at some things, there is a possibility of just hosting. I mean, we have a turf field right now. Yeah. We'd have to add bleachers. We'd have to move some things around, the press box, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know if it's really going to be in the works because our partnership with Marion is so good. It's not just the football field. It's, the theater for our theater classes. They do a great show in the spring. Our band stays here over the summer. It's an all-inclusive thing with Marion. The partnership is just fantastic. And, I don't know if it's something we want to do. Obviously, you kind of got to look at the pros and the cons. And really, I would love to have stuff on campus because then I don't have to haul everything over back and forth. Yeah. I mean, that is the biggest bane of my existence right now. But ultimately, if the kids are getting opportunities, I don't care. I love doing it just for these kids. Kids are great, and it stinks at times, but you know what? It's when you see the smiles on these kids' faces. Hopefully, you get a win here and there, and it's all worth it.
Yep. Dave, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve.
Appreciate you having us out here for a couple of evenings. That's Ritter Athletic Director Dave Scott. Back with the second half after we pause for this on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
My real estate taxes went up.
Oh, yeah. They were like redoing the whole thing. But I mean, these guys,
come on in.
it was one of those things. It was like, hey, let's get the money. And they did. And
Got it fast.
these places are just growing like crazy. Steve, great. We'll see you.
Welcome back to Marion University on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Andrew, we're getting set for a great second half of play, and Scecina is chomping at the bit to get the football.
Yeah, they're already out there getting ready to return this ball.
go.
They're up 24-6 on the Raiders, and what a halftime show it was. It seems like you guys had a good time in here.
We did. I got to tell you, Dave Scott is an impressive guy. And I'm not just blowing smoke up his skirt since we're here, and we're basically their guests. But, man, Central Indiana is so fortunate to have some of the ADs that they have.
Yeah.
And these smaller schools are blessed to have guys that know what they're doing, like Dave, Scott Knapp over at Tri-West, Ted Hampton over at Brebeuf. So, at any rate, it's all good stuff. We got a fresh 12 on the clock. We're underway.
And this is going to be returned from the 25-yard line. There's a convoy. Moved to his right. He bumped off one of his own players as the return man kept going in and off his own white jerseys. That was Michael McConnell as he gets tackled to the 50. So they're going to start at midfield after a 25-yard return. 6 seconds come off the clock. And the Crusaders, who scored on some big plays to set them up for the touchdowns, are looking to score another touchdown through the air as their quarterback DJ Mendez hooked up with Mason Barrio for a 65-yard score on their last drive before halftime. They're on the ball with two receivers to the left, two here to the right. Running back to the left side car, and it's going to be a keeper by Mendez. Mendez went to his left, went up Main Street as he is in a rugby
Scrum.
scrum. As there's a player now limping for the Raiders late. He looked like he gets stepped on, and he's going to go down. That was Maddox Sykes that is down, and as he's down in pain, they're going to blow the whistle. We're going to take a break. Crusaders lead at 24-6 on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or Ray Skillman Shadeland.
And we are back, and I was told that DJ Mendez had 178 yards and 2 touchdowns, and see if I'm willing to bet is from those 2 long passing plays right before half ended.
Oh, no doubt. That was more than half of them.
Pitch to the outside. There's some good blocks by the Crusaders. Fitz Ramsey goes down the sideline. He's got a first down and plenty more.
Nice run there by Fitz Ramsey. He got the edge and dashed down the far sideline, and looks like the Crusaders are just short of the red zone.
That was a 25-yard run by Fitz Ramsey. But what some excellent blocking from the outside by the Crusaders to set him up to get those 25 yards. Under center. Handed off to Fitz Ramsey. Fitz Ramsey bounces it to the outside, and he gets hit below as he goes out of bounds for another good chunk of change for the Crusaders. Second down and short.
Well, Scecina has come out firing here in the second half, haven't they?
Going right back to what they like to do. That is run the football.
That's right.
What was it, the first 7, 8, 9 plays? They was on the ground.
Fitz Ramsey.
For Fitz Ramsey, the same guy. Never a passing play until they had to on a 3rd and long. Back to the same formation. And a handoff to Fitz Ramsey. Fitz Ramsey goes up the middle. He waves in and out of traffic, and he goes down inside the 5-yard line. He's at the 4, first and goal for the Crusaders.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com.
What a performance it's been by the Crusaders to start this second half. First and goal, they need 5 more yards. It's a straight handoff to the fullback as he goes down. That was Marcus Greathouse that got the carry, and he got maybe a yard to the 4.
Scores from around the area. Lebanon in the third quarter leading Southmont 13-0. Also in the Sagamore Conference, it's Western Boone 20, Danville 7. We'll be at Tri-West next week for Southmont Tri-West. You may be with me, too, if you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be here this week. QB sneak by Mendez, and Mendez gets the push, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders. They went with Mendez again. This is the second time they've done the QB sneak for a touchdown. But, Steve, I don't think I've ever seen a QB sneak go for 4 yards before. That was incredible.
Got a good push.
He really did.
Offensive line. So Mendez now with 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns.
If you have him on your fantasy team, you're pretty happy right now with DJ Mendez's performance.
No doubt. How many points would that be?
That would be a lot of points.
35?
Something like that. You'd have to look at maybe Lamar Jackson's numbers to even compare.
Carter Nolan snaps down, kick is up and good.
As it sails out of the stadium, 31-6, as you're watching the Indiana High School Sports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Knutson.
10:07 to go in the third quarter as the Crusaders marched down the field. They went 50 even yards, and it was a 4-yard QB sneak by Mendez to give him a 31-6 lead. Andrew Mild, Steve Hartley on the Indiana High School Sports.com, as there's the boot by the Crusaders, and Roberts going to return it. Roberts starts at the 1. He goes to the outside. He gets across the 20 to the 25. He's still going, and he is inside the 35. Actually, they're going to spot him inside the 30, just outside the 35 at the 32. A 30-yard return by Jay Roberts. But between his rushing, his receiving, and his kickoff returns, this young man had probably more than 90% of his team's yards in this game.
He's strong. There's no doubt about it.
He's strong. He has endurance, as you've heard, how many times he's touched the ball tonight. You may hear him touch the ball 3 times in this drive alone if it turns into a 3-and-out.
Well, Ritter needs an answer here on this drive.
Their offense has not scored yet. The only touchdown was from a scoop and score by Robert Jackson. Look at the throw. Johnson uncorks one. It's a low throw, and it is caught. And guess who? It's Jay Roberts for about 4 yards. Second down.
A couple of scores from around the area. Chittard leading Terre Haute North 35-0 in the third quarter. Also in the third, Cathedral 28, Brebeuf 7. It's Lebanon 13, Southmont 6 as the Mounties get on the board. Sheridan leads Eastern 34-13. Western Boone 20, Danville 7. And Hamilton Southeastern leads Franklin Central in the third quarter 24-0.
Southeastern still going for that perfect season.
Yeah, but I think they still got to play Brownsburg.
High throw. It's caught and tackled immediately was Max Knutson on the 39-yard line. An immediate tackle by Keaton Tebow.
Muncie Central leading Anderson 14-7. That ball game at half.
Back on the ball. Third down play coming up. Showing pressure are the Crusaders. They pitch it to the outside. Roberts looking for a lane, and he just can't get through the front line of Scecina, and he's at the 41 for a 1-yard gain, 4th down.
Got to go.
You got to go for it.
Gotta go.
The way that the Crusaders have moved the ball in the last couple of drives, you really have no choice. It's out of your hands.
Yep.
They're only facing a 4th and 2. They got to get to the 42-yard line. They're on their own 40 right now, as the Crusaders have built a 25-point lead, as they've scored 3 unanswered touchdowns after the game was at 10-6 after the scoop and score. They go back to the Jay Roberts. Ball is on the ground as he gets hit in the backfield immediately by Adam Young, and it was recovered by the Raiders. But either way, the Crusaders get the stop they needed. They're back on the football in Raiders territory, up 25 points.
Tough break. Tough break there.
And you knew it was asking for a lot, too, by running that football, because this Crusaders front line is phenomenal. It might be one of the best in the state between Tamir Woods and Adam Young here in 2A, as they flat out dominated. It was Adam Young who won the game for them last week, and he just made a big play again for his team.
Yeah, they're quick.
For some big guys, they are quick.
Yeah.
Here comes Mendez. Brandon Fitz-Ramsey's in the backfield. Might have been a man offsides there on the Raiders, but there is no flag. They're going to give him 2 yards on the carry for Fitz-Ramsey. 2nd and 8 from the 38-yard line as the drive starts on the Raiders' 40.
Andrew Martinsville and Mooresville are deadlocked at 21 in the third quarter. It's Center Grove 31, Lawrence North 0. Fishers leads Westfield by 3 at the half, 10-7. Greenfield Central over Delta. That ball game we're broadcasting on our Muncie page, 14-6. And Elder leading Ron Colley now late in the second quarter, 17-9.
It's a pass. They got a man wide open. He's going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown for the Crusaders. It's Jalen Long, the tight end. They faked it to Fitz-Ramsey. Long went behind the defense, and after that, it was a simple pitch and catch. Mendez now has 3 passing touchdowns today and 2 rushing. He's had a great game.
Third time, receivers got behind the defense, and that time Ray was all alone.
There was no Raiders defender within 10 to 15 yards of the senior who scores his 2nd touchdown this season, as Mendez now has 10 passing touchdowns on the season. Snap, hold, kick. It's good. Crusaders are breaking this game open, and me and Steve are going to take a break as you're watching high school football on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
.706 in the third. Andrew Mile and Steve Hartley. And Steve DJ Mendez has 3 passing touchdowns. All of them, I'm going to throw these numbers at you. 1 for 42 yards, another one for 65 yards, and then a 38-yarder right there to Jalen Long. He's had a phenomenal game from the pocket.
Not too shabby.
Jay Roberts returning it from the 4-yard line. Some black jerseys in front of him. He gets through the original hole, and he finally gets stood up as he gets an extra push all the way to the 33.5-yard line. A good return again by Jay Roberts, the senior running back of the Raiders, who's had a busy night, to say the least, and he will start his team up at the 34.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a shout. 317-257-0779. Also, Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. My buddy Dave Everett over there. Visit Ray Skillman Northeast Kia for your new Kias and terrific used inventory.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Quick throw connected to Roberts. Roberts goes backwards, and he gets hit hard by number 40. That's Mason Barrio, who picks up a tackle. He already leads the team in tackles this season, coming into the game with 58. He'll add 1 more to his total. Now, I have to say, if I had my own house, Steve, I'd go to Universal Roofing Exteriors.
Yes, you would.
As I saw how your house looks, I think it's got a few more years before I get to be a homeowner. We'll see.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, they did a great job with gutters and replacing our roof.
Quick throw to Roberts. Roberts got a couple of blocks. He's trying to get to the sidelines. He does, and he gets the first down.
Tell you, if that kid gets the edge, watch out.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take just some good blocking, and for him to just get some open field, and he's gone. He is fast, and he just wants the ball every time his team takes the field and snaps that ball.
Zion Lloyd checking into the ball game at the receiver slot, replacing Adrian Gregory for Ritter. Lawrence North on the board, trailing Center Grove 31-7 now in the third.
Ben Johnson gets the snap, looking to air it out again. He gets rid of it, and it's over the head of Jay Roberts, who was running an out route towards his sidelines. 2nd 10.
Andrew Warren Central has put 7 on the board. They now lead Carmel 13-6. Lawrence Central has added another. This is really a surprising score. They've added another touchdown. LC leads Ben Davis 28-0. HSC leads Franklin Central 24-6.
Yeah, the Bears and the Giants in that game for Ben Davis, and for me as a Bears fan, I wish that was the score last week, but of course a different result, as those Bears fans are really happy with what's going on.
Yes, for sure.
And there is a timeout. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Timeout burned by Cardinal Ritter as they break the huddle from their sidelines. Andrew Mild and Steve Hartley from Marian University on St. Vincent Field, where Cardinal Ritter calls home. And they're just looking to salvage some points here. They're down 32 points right now, and if they don't score here and the Crusaders do, we will see a running clock for the rest of this ball game.
Yep.
Scores 38-6. Johnson airs it out, and it is batted away. Perfectly timed by the safety of Scecina.
Jacob
Martin, the senior. It was interesting to look at how Scecina lined up their defense heading into the game. Of course, they had the 4 down linemen. They only listed 2 linebackers and a massive amount of defensive backs, and you see why they do that, because they have so much confidence in their D-line, they don't need too many linebackers. Throw, and it looks like this is going to be ripped away and intercepted. It is stuck between 2 players. They're calling it a jump ball.
I think that ball was first picked by Scecina, and Jay Roberts may have yanked it away, but they're going to give the ball to Scecina.
Madden Barrio gets the interception, his first of the season, as he timed that out perfectly. And you're right, Jay Roberts tried to rip it away, but as we're watching it back on the stream on my phone, that was definitely Barrio that got to the ball first.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 great plays by the cornerbacks of the Crusaders. Jacob Martin, before that, batting the ball away, and then Madden Barrio with the takeaway. That interception is the 7th by the Crusaders this season.
Well, we're at the midway point of the third quarter, and this is a big drive for Scecina if they want to move this game along more quickly.
DJ Mendez under center. They're going to hand it off to Fitz-Ramsey. Fitz-Ramsey got the first down. He's working to the left. The ball squirted out, and the ball is on the ground, and there he's going to keep with the Crusaders. They actually look like that could have been Eric Montgomery that got the carry there. He's a freshman running back listed at 5'10", 160. So it was not Fitz-Ramsey. Give that carry to Eric Montgomery, which I'm assuming from his coach he's going to get an earful for dropping the football after a good run.
We expect Fitz-Ramsey to get the ball, right? He's been the workhorse so far.
Give him a little bit of a break. Hand off to the fullback this time. And some good pushing from his O-line keeps him moving. They spot him just outside the 20. That's a 5-yard gain, going from the 27 to the 22. 5 minutes to go in the third.
Marcus Greathouse on the carry.
Yeah, Marcus Greathouse. They've been putting him at fullback in this game. He's had a couple of carries tonight that have been pretty successful. And for the Crusaders, they can do no wrong on offense. They're a little slow to start the game, but they found their groove against this Raiders defense. Greathouse to the right of Mendez, who's in the gun. One receiver to the right, one to the left. Mendez gets a block. He goes to his right, and he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage. As the first man there for the Raiders was Jamerson Rogers, the big defensive tackle that just clogged up the lane and not allowed Mendez to go anywhere. 3rd and 6 coming up. And for the Crusaders, every time they've thrown the ball, it seems as though every play has gone well, except for some of the times the Raiders blitzed them. But if Scecina can score a touchdown here, they're looking for a running clock. Handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery's got a convoy. He's going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders. But there is a flag. Dirty laundry, it's holding, is coming back.
Boy, Montgomery went right up the gut.
He did.
Untouched. Well, it's going to come back. It's going to take him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And with just under 4 minutes to go, it'll be 3rd down, and it looks like around 12 from the 29 of Ritter.
And for Montgomery, he wasn't listed on the depth chart, so I'm not sure if maybe that was going to be his first career touchdown or not. And if it was, that's a heartbreaker. Montgomery gets the ball again. They go to the left, and he's going to keep the butter churning. He's still going, and they're going to blow the play dead after about 4 or 5 yard gain, 4th down for the Crusaders. And Steve, I'm willing to bet they're going to go for it here up 32.
Oh, yeah. Did you say butter churning?
Keeps the butter churning.
Can I use that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, thanks. Is that kind of like legs moving?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly what that means.
Okay, same thing. All right. I learn something new from you young guys all the time, man.
Well, I'm glad I'm teaching someone something, because I haven't been teaching myself anything for the last 23 years. 4th and 8. Pitch to the outside. It's Greathouse. Greathouse goes to his left. He makes a move. He makes a man miss. He's going for the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders. There are no flags on the field. Here comes a running clock, but what a move by Greathouse. Wow.
Jump cut to the side. Off he went.
Just absolutely gorgeous. Greathouse to the house.
That's, yeah. I feel so bad for Ritter because they made such a great run of it in the first half. And here in the second half, it's been all Scecina. And you got to think, Ritter plays a lot of kids both ways. So are they getting worn down with the running attack?
The field goal is good, and after Grayhouse goes 20 yards for the touchdown, the Crusaders have a running clock. As we'll take a break. You're watching IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
303, and we welcome you back into the booth at St. Vincent Field as Cardinal Ritter. They battled. Steve, you were going into it a little bit right before the extra point. They did their job for about first quarter and a half, but after that, it's really just been Scecina dominating the way we thought they would.
All out, no doubt about it. Scores from around the area: Lebanon leading Southmont 20-13. That ball game in the fourth quarter. Western Boone by 13 over Danville. That ball game also in the third. Check that, the fourth.
They didn't want Jay Roberts returning anymore as number 26 gets brought down from behind. That was returned by Marquise Savage. And this drive will start at the 32.
Marcus Greathouse on the tackle. Center Grove all over Lawrence North, 38-7, late in the third quarter of play. Also in the third quarter, it's Sheridan 35, Eastern 20. Hamilton Southeastern on their way to a victory over Fishers. They lead 31-6. That ball game in the third. New Pal 63, Newcastle 6. And Martinsville leads Mooresville 28-21. That ball game late in the third.
45-6 is the score here as Johnson throws across the middle of the field. He places it to Josh Adams, and Adams gets a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and 8. As no matter what happens for the rest of the game except for a touchdown, this clock will continue to run as we are at 2 minutes. The rest of this game is going to go by like a breeze.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Crispus Attucks with a 44-8 lead in their ball game. Pendleton Heights leads Yorktown 14-12, and Fishers leading Westfield 10-7. That ball game at the half.
Johnson looking to throw. He's looking to his left. He lobs it, and he completes it to number 22. That's Jaden Fleming for just a couple more yards. 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. Raiders are going to be throwing the ball all the way to the end as Johnson came into the game with 133 passing attempts in 6 games. So he's had plenty of opportunities to showcase himself, and he had a little bit of a rough start to the season. He threw 4 interceptions through the first 3 games, but in his last 3 games, none. And that streak was broken today as he threw an interception to Madden Barrio. He's trying to get his team their first offensive touchdown of the game as Robert Jackson has his defensive touchdown. Roll it to the right. Johnson brought the ball in. He throws it, and it's intercepted. Scecina has a couple of blockers in front, and that's going to be returned to the 35, but there is a flag. It's down at the 34 as the interception would go to Jacob Martin.
The legal man downfield.
So that is going to be upheld. It's going to be declined by the Crusaders, and with the clock running the way it is, that's going to be the end of the third quarter as the play clock has not even started yet. And Steve, the Crusaders, look like they're going to pick up their 7th win this season.
Crusaders lead at 45-6. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter of play after this.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Entered the fourth and final frame from Indianapolis, Indiana. Andrew Miles, Steve Hartley on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. And Steve, this game has turned into exactly what we thought it would be, a blowout for Scecina on the road.
We didn't start out that way.
No.
But I think Ritter definitely is starting to get worn down a little bit. And looks like Fitz Ramsey is back in at tailback for the Crusaders.
It's a handoff with a new quarterback, though, as Fitz Ramsey gets to the 30 on a 4-yard gain. That is Will Battles now coming in at QB. He is a 5'5 junior.
And that was Montgomery on the carry.
Montgomery. So they're going to go to the backups for the rest of the game. As Montgomery had a touchdown wiped off the board, and then it turned into a touchdown for Greathouse.
You know, at this stage of the game, it's really important to get your 2s and 3s. And, you know, these are kids that run the scout team. You got to get these kids because it's the future of your program, right? So you got to get them some experience in real time.
And Montgomery's a freshman. Might be the first time he's seen action this year. He gets a carry. He bounces off a defender. He keeps his legs going, and he goes down at the 27-yard line. Just 2 more yards for Montgomery. 3rd and 3 for Scecina.
Tri-West with a 13-0 lead over Crawfordsville. And Lutheran leading Speedway 7-0 in another Indiana Crossroads Conference matchup.
3rd and 3. Scecina breaks the huddle. They're back onto the football with one receiver to the left, one to the right. Battles under the center. Montgomery just a few yards behind him. A pitch to Montgomery. Montgomery cuts it back in. He's going down the middle of the field. He's got a crease, and he's inside the 10-yard line. They mark him down at the 6. 21 yards for the freshman, as he's had yet another impressive carry in this ball game.
He's got a lot of speed for a freshman. Big kid, too.
He is. He is listed at 5'10", 160. But he's a lengthy 5'10".
Yeah, he's still growing, obviously. Fourth quarter score, Chittard all over Terre Haute North, 49-0. Lebanon leading Southmont 20-13.
So you have some close scores and then the not so close scores.
Yeah.
Day in the life of high school football. Battles, Montgomery to the right, and he is at the 4, 2 more yards for the freshman. 2nd and goal, and 4 more yards to gain before another touchdown for the Crusaders, trying to get above 50.
Western Boone leads Danville 23-7. That ball game in the fourth period to play. Brownsburg doubling up Noblesville 42-21. That ball game also in the fourth quarter of play. And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll be back on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Second and 4 after a timeout was burned, so the clock stopped at 9:36. But after the ball is spotted and both teams are on the ball, the clock will run again. Andrew Mild and Steve Hartley. I'm going to throw this score out here, too. My alumni school, Crown Point Bulldogs up in northwest Indiana, is up 21-7 on Chesterton. They're looking for a perfect season out of 6A. Just had to give them a shout out. I mean, they're 7-0. I think they earned the right.
Yeah, you've earned the right. But against Northwest Indiana football.
Will Battles gets the carry up the middle On the QB sneak, he's down to the 3 for a 1-yard gain.
Did you race those hollowed fields up there at Crown Point?
I played baseball. I signed up to play freshman football, but a L5 back injury made me hang up the cleats.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
It
it
made
was.
all the difference in the world with the Bulldogs up there, didn't it?
The defense seemed to do a lot better without me there. Montgomery in the backfield. Battles under center. They need 2 more yards. Battles gets another QB sneak, and they are just slowly moving up.
Nice stand there, really, by Ritter. Stood up the front line and pushed Battles back just a tad.
The Ritter Raiders got the Crusaders to the 1, as they've just been able to stand up time and time again. Every time the Crusaders try to go up the middle, and the Crusaders are going to go for it here. Might go with Battles on QB sneak. Might try to get Montgomery into the end zone. In all fairness, Montgomery should have a touchdown, but due to a holding, it was wiped off the board. And it's Battles who dropped the snap momentarily. He falls forward, and he did not score. The Raiders make a big stop inside the 1. He dropped the ball. Battles didn't secure it. I think he wanted to get into the end zone so badly, he went before the ball did.
Clearly. So the Raiders will take over. 1st and 10 from their own, looks like their own 1-yard line, maybe 2.
Well, that's where they started today after a muffed kickoff returned by Jay Roberts.
Clock continuing to roll with 7:40 to go in the ball game. Warren Central and Carmel now deadlocked at 13. That ball game in the 4th quarter. Mooresville has come back to tie Martinsville 28-28 in mid-state action.
That sounds like a really fun game.
Barn burner, no doubt. Pendleton Heights 28, Yorktown 12. And Cathedral still leading Brebeuf 28-7. That ball game in the 4th.
Raiders spread out the offense. Johnson looks at his left, throws it short, and the receiver didn't even look back for the ball. Intended for Jay Roberts, 2nd 10.
Andrew Smothers scores from around the area. Avon leading Zionsville 2017. Avon has not won a ball game this season yet. Center Grove 38, Lawrence North 7. Ben Davis finally on the board. They're trailing Lawrence Central 28-7. Hamilton Heights has come back to lead Lewis Cass 21-12. Newcastle has put 6 more points on the board. They trail New Pal 23-12. And East Central is pounding Guerin 34-0.
The throw, and it's caught. It's caught by Jay Roberts, who gets a good run after it. He gets to the 25-yard line. That's a 24-yard hookup between Johnson and Roberts.
I'll tell you, Roberts had to elevate to catch that one, and he really had only one man to beat. Looks like he's dinged up a little bit. May have pulled his ankle a little bit. He's going to be relieved for a minute or 2.
I think he earned the right for a break as Marquise Savage comes in for the injured Jay Roberts. And almost the substitution, that was Juan Mendoza that ran out to the field and came back. And there's a timeout burned by the Raiders. We'll take a timeout. It's 45-6 Crusaders.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back to Marion University on the northwest side of Indianapolis. 5:48 to go in the ball game. Scecina with a commanding 45-6 lead over Ritter. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com.
Johnson going to the air, and Roberts tried to bring that one one-handed. It falls incomplete. 2nd down. The clock still goes.
Cathedral put 14 points more on the board in the fourth quarter. They're leading Rebuff 42-7. That running clock will be instituted there, as is at the Chittard game where the Trojans lead Terre Haute North 49-zip.
I saw Pre-Buff Jesuit play last week against Terre Haute South Vigo, and their defense was phenomenal. If you haven't seen them play yet, you have to go check out the middle linebacker, Cole Williams.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He is a monster. He's a middle linebacker for the team. He's pretty close to almost 100 tackles this season.
You know, Rebuff has a kid at Purdue right now, Joe Strickland, very much the same type of player as Cole Williams. And I don't know if he's being redshirted this year or not, but Strickland was he certainly passes the eye test.
It was a pitch to Roberts. Roberts just back to the 25, where the fresh set it down started after Roberts' 24-yard catch, 3rd and 10. But as mentioned, was a linebacker. I've always appreciated watching really good linebackers. I even went as far as to compare Cole Williams to Luke Kuechly, the former linebacker at Boston College, and then played about 8 years with the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
The way they just know where the ball's going to go and then get there and then make a play. So it was great to watch. Johnson, middle of the field, and that is not a pass interference. Wow.
Boy, the defender was all over Robert Jackson. Clock continuing to roll with 4:05 to go, and tonight's ballgame also being brought to us by Genesis Sports Performance. Graham Wilkerson and Dale Speckman over there at Genesis. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. 3:50 to go. Ritter trying to mount some type of offense here in the second half. It's been all Scecina here in the third quarter, which obviously led to the running clock as we stand now with just 3:30 to go.
They're going deep. They won it all, and there's nobody there. And someone from Cardinal Ritter is not happy. One of the coaches slammed down his play sheet and then threw off his headset. He was not happy that nobody was there, just a lack of miscommunication, which you can take as a coach if there is a physical error. If the team across from you is better than you, but you can't take mental errors.
No, it looked like that was clearly some miscommunication between Ben Johnson and Robert Jackson.
Because Johnson just bombed the ball, but there was only 2 Crusaders players there. Luckily for, I guess,
and that was
Ben,
fourth down.
It was fourth down. So that's how their game ended. The last play that they run from offense is a miscommunication between their wide receiver Jackson and their quarterback Johnson.
Well, Coach Ott Early of Scecina has his 2s and 3s in now, and it looks like Montgomery will stay in the ball game at running back, and we have a new quarterback in there for the Crusaders.
Yeah, it was Battles. This looks like it's Max Douglas, a sophomore. He's under center, gets the snap, and it's a handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery goes into a herd of Raiders players, and he's tackled after 2 yards were gained. You were talking about Purdue and Pre-Buff Jesuit made me immediately think of Brady Allen, who was on Gibson Southern last year and led them to the state championship win against Pre-Buff Jesuit. Now he's at Purdue. That's why it made me think of him. And he had a great season. I had
Mr. Football.
Looked at his stats when he was there because I was watching some of the film from Pre-Buff's game against him, and he throws a pretty football. He really does.
Gibson Southern has, over the course of the last several years, has really done a good job of pumping out some quality talent down there. Nick Hart, whose dad is the head coach of Brownsburg, leads that program.
The tailback is still going. He's still getting those legs churning. Here comes a late flag, though, here from the sidelines.
You got to wonder what that penalty would be. I mean, the offensive line did all the work. They were pushing and pushing. I bet that was about a 15-yard push.
It was a sideline warning. That would make sense.
Okay. All right.
The run was from Michael McConnell, a senior. He was lined up as the fullback. They gave it to him, and he went in like another 15 yards after he first got hit.
That's going to go against Scecina, and that may run out the clock.
Yeah, we're under a minute, getting to 40 seconds. The play clock has not started just yet, They may have to run just one more play, and they're going to start the play clock right now. There's a 10-second difference, so there's a very good chance this might be a victory formation. It is, as they're going to allow Max Douglas, the sophomore QB, to kneel this out and celebrate their 7th victory. And there it is, one knee on the ground, one more win for Scecina, the number 5 team in 2A, as they dominate the Raiders 45-6. Steve, any final thoughts?
Well, I do have a final thought. We're going to come back with some scores from around the area, but it's, again, the first half, Brad Purcell's got to be thrilled with how his Raiders performed in the first half. The second half was a totally different story with Scecina. We'll be back with our post-game show after this on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different.
Well, welcome back to Marion University on the northwest side of Indianapolis, where Scecina has beaten Cardinal Ritter tonight by 45-6 count. Let's go give you some scores from around the area tonight. Cathedral leading Brebeuf 42-14. That ball game in the fourth quarter. Many of these ball games will be in the fourth period. It's Lebanon 20, Southmont 13. Sheridan leads Eastern by a 35-20 count. Western Boone 33. Danville 7, that ball game in the fourth quarter. Also in the fourth quarter, it's Center Grove 38, Lawrence North 7. Warren Central's come back. They lead Carmel 20-13, that ball game in the fourth. It's Brownsburg 42, Noblesville 21. In the fourth quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leads Franklin Central 38-14. Also in the fourth, Greenfield Central leads Delta by a 21-6 count. New Pal 63, Newcastle 12, that ball game also in the fourth. Mentioned earlier, Mooresville and Martinsville deadlocked at 28, also in the fourth quarter. Pendleton Heights 28, Yorktown 12. Zionsville has come back to even it up with Avon late in the third quarter, 20-20. Lawrence Central 28, Ben Davis 7, that ball game late in the third. Hamilton Heights has scored again against Lewis Cass. The Huskies lead the Kings by 21-12 count, that ball game late in the third as well. Roncalli has come back against Elder. They trail the Panthers by 2, 17-15, that ball game at the half. Chittard with a 49-0 win over Terre Haute North. Tri-Central knocked off Taylor tonight by a 35-0 score. And those are all the scores that we have for you right now. Again, we remind you to join us. Come to IndianaHighSchoolSports.com late tonight. And early tomorrow morning, we'll have game recaps of your favorite teams from around the area. We'll try to promote as many kids as we can that were pertinent to each ball game. And then we'll also, if you go to our Twitter site at INDHS Sports, you'll also find links to games and a bunch of kids tagged in those games as well. We'll be back with some final thoughts after we pause for this on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back, and our final score again was Scecina Crusaders 45 in the Cardinal Ritter Raiders 6, and a blowout that allowed Scecina Memorial to move up to 7-1 on the year, 5-1 in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, and then Cardinal Ritter drops to 1-6. They are now 0-6 against conference opponents. As the player of the game was going to DJ Mendez for his 3 touchdown passes and 2 rushing touchdowns as they go on to play Monrovia next week for the final game of the regular season. And then for Cardinal Ritter, their next game is against the Cascade Cadets, who went 3-4 heading into this week. And as the Raiders battled as much as they could in the first half until the Crusaders finally figured it out on offense, they ran away with it, scoring 35 unanswered points as Cardinal Ritter's only touchdown came from a fumble that was recovered by Robert Jackson, who had a house call. Don't forget that next week is our last week broadcasting football, as we'll be getting ready for the men's and women's basketball season from the Indianapolis area. Next week's games in the Muncie area, Blackford and Franklin. You can also catch Southmont and Tri-West, or the Traders Point Christian and Lutheran football game. Well, that's going to do it from Marian University. You're getting your final score, Scecina 45 and Cardinal Ritter 6. As for Steve Hartley and our producer, Marcus Webster, I'm Andrew Maya. We thank you for tuning in and can't wait to hear from you next week. Have a good rest of your night and enjoy your weekend.
Tonight's game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net has been built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.